Nobody does it, Bennett. Yes, I've gone and said it. Movies and games, some things that are lame. Nobody does it, Bennett. Meh.
Good evening and welcome. There are some superb movies ahead on Movie Review Universe. Next time, we'll join Tom Hanks as he lives out his childhood wish in the 1988 film Big. Right now though, it's time for Batman 1989. Hello, and welcome to Nobody Does It Bennett, the very first episode with a Movie Review Universe, Batman 1989. I am the Greg Bennett Experience. Jeff, you're here somewhere as well, I hear.
I am. I'm in the background somewhere.
So Batman hasn't got you yet.
Not yet. Oh, wait. No, that was just my shadow.
What was that? It was the wind.
Yeah.
So what we're going to be doing tonight is going through Batman 1989. We're going to go through the movie. We're going to reenact our favourite scenes with the most ridiculous voices you've probably ever heard, as well as review the movie itself. So it's going to be, let's hope, fun, weird, and wonderful. At the end of the review, we're going to give our ratings as well. They're going to be out of 5 different categories. And when we combine our scores, it's going to be on our very first chart for Nobody Does It Bennett Movie Review Universe, where we're going to rate every single film against each other. It's going to go on the board and we'll see what will be number one. Maybe after about a few months, we might get an indication of how good Batman 1989 really was or really wasn't, going by the score.
Great.
Right, so before we jump into the movie itself, before we go into the movie, Jeff, what are your thoughts about Batman 1989? What are your thoughts about Michael Keaton, the Batsuit itself, the actual Tim Burton directing it, and just what you can remember of growing up watching it?
So I basically didn't remember much of it until I watched it again. I remembered obviously the most iconic parts of it, but there were lots of bits and pieces that would be from another film or, from the sequels and not from the actual film itself. Like, for instance, when we were doing our Nobody Does It Bennett extras and I said about the bat signal and you're like, no, that's in the second one. And I was like, oh, okay, that's awkward. I really enjoyed it. I wasn't actually that young when I watched it. I don't think at the time it originally came out that I was allowed to watch it.
I was about 16 when I first saw it because I wasn't allowed to see it when I was a kid either. I saw Batman Forever and Batman and Robin before I saw the original Batman and Batman Returns.
Oh, okay. I definitely saw the 89 first, but that was because I'd seen the animated series. And the animated series, when I was looking on like the internet and stuff, which was really slow back then, it was saying how the theme from the animated series was from the movie. I was like, I want to watch this movie.
Very similar, because I think the animated series one is ba 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 ba, rather the Tim Burton one is ba 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 da da.
It's borrowed from the movie. Bits and pieces of it are cut from the music from the movie and added to the show.
With Shirley Walker as well, who did compose the music for the animated series. She worked with Tim Burton on Batman 89. It was really, really good, that music, and the show itself was really, really good, but it wouldn't be around if it wasn't for this film.
And that's why I wanted to watch this film. I wanted to see what was so great about it that it managed to spawn off a TV series that was just a huge part of my childhood.
I love the suit as well. The bat suit, and it's the black with the yellow belt and the yellow symbol.
Yeah, I was a bit funny about the whole not being able to turn your head thing. That was a little weird, and it kind of made some scenes look a little awkward. But overall, yeah, that was an amazing bat suit, especially for the very first one.
The fact that he can't move his head is a lot more noticeable now when you're looking for it. A lot of the time he's like awkwardly just twisting his body and not moving his neck, and it's like, this is not really the best fighting suit, is it?
No.
It does look really cool. This is the black on black with the yellow pop of the belt and the symbol. Oh, there is not a suit that's live action yet, I think, that's beaten it.
in The Dark Knight. He had the thing with the white eyes, and because it had been in the comics and stuff, I was like, I'm really looking forward to it. And to be honest, I wasn't as blown away by it as I had hoped I would be. And it just made me think, the original suit that they had for 89 was just perfect. He didn't have the white eyes. He didn't need them.
Well, I think in comics and cartoons and animated shows, sometimes they don't adapt very well live action wise. Like every time I see a Batman Beyond live action suit, it doesn't look as cool as the animated series.
And they did a Batman Beyond suit for the Arkham Knight series, and it was just Batman's suit with just a mouthpiece. It just had a covering over it, and it was like, this is Batman Beyond. I was like, no, it's not. I have to say, for 89's Batman, I'm really happy with how it went, because it gave us so much for that animated series as well. It's like you said, if it wasn't for this movie, that animated series might not have existed. Or if it did, it might not have played out the way it did.
I think if this movie didn't come out first, then it would be more one based on the 60s Batman again, because that's all people knew before this Batman came out. All people knew was the 66 Batman, the Adam West, the Burt Ward, just the absolute love fest that's now been completely changed thanks to this film. And you can thank all other films in the future for actually bringing this tone. And from then on, it's kind of got darker, actually, which is funny. Because when this film came out, people were concerned how dark it was, but now you look at it compared to the other movies, and it's like, it's not so dark.
Especially if you look at it compared to like Batman and Robin.
I'll watch that movie any day for the laughs and for the puns.
For the laughs and for the Batman credit card.
Please have mercy. Mercy, I grow cold for your mercy. Oh, Mr. Freeze, you man, you.
You cheesy man, you.
He has all the cool jokes.
Good one. But if it wasn't for this 89, we wouldn't have the animated series version of Mr. Freeze, which was it was so much better than just making him some criminal who was Faith, basically, and then he became Mr. Freeze. You've got the Mr. Freeze with a completely different story. You've got Harley Quinn, who wouldn't have existed without this series. Well, hang on. This series wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for this movie.
So thank you, Tim Burton, because he had a whole lot of trouble getting this movie going. The studio were putting pressure on him. He was trying to show them the vision, and they were holding it back a lot. That's why Batman Returns, if you watch it, is a lot darker film, because after Batman came out, they're like, Tim Burton, we trust you. You can do what you want. And then he made this really uber dark version, and he's like, Tim Burton, we're going with someone else for Batman Forever. Because McDonald's got really upset because they had toys aimed at kids for a movie that was definitely not for kids. Like a whole shot with Penguin coming out of the water, oozing the blood. Oh, love it though. I love it. What about Jack Nicholson in this? How do you rate him against other Jokers now, looking back? For me, I think he's still classic and iconic, but Ledger's creepier.
I would still give Jack a solid 4, just because for what he did it well. The laugh was good. It wasn't like Jared Leto, which was, for me, Jared Leto as Joker was just awful. I know that there's going to be a bit of backlash about that one, because there'll be a lot of people that are fans of Jared Leto. I am excited to see him as Morpheus, but as Joker, it was just no.
See, I reckon Jared Leto's Joker would be better if they leaned into the fact that it was Jason Todd and it wasn't actually Joker, because he had the fact where he went through how he killed a Robin and stuff like that. It would be so much darker if Batman was fighting Jason Todd. Better too, because he could be his own character. He wouldn't have to live up to what Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger did. And that's the thing, is he can't live up to that.
I think that's probably what hit him the hardest. Was Jack Nicholson led the way, for sure, but Heath Ledger just knocked it out of the park. And I'm not saying that because that was one of the last movies he ever did. I'm saying that because he genuinely knocked it out of the park. To me, his death has nothing to do with it. You know, it's nothing towards my thought process of why I enjoyed the movie, why I enjoyed the character.
His career would have been a lot different if he'd been alive after that, because it would have skyrocketed up. He'd probably be the highest paid actor, I'd say, in Hollywood now. It was side effects from The Dark Knight that caused him to pass away, unfortunately. But
I find that interesting because, you know, so many people have played the Joker or done the Joker's voice.
You're laughing because I knocked my Coke over. You know.
I'm sorry, but it's shaking in the background, and I'm like, oh god, trying not to laugh. Yeah, so I don't know why it was so hard for him because, the Joker's a maniac, but you've got Jack Nicholson, Jared Leto, you've got all the people who have voiced him as cartoon characters, including my all-time favourite, Mark Hamill. And he did one of the most brutal versions of the Joker, which is the Killing Joke. And he's all right.
It's because Mark Hamill doesn't take Joker home with him. What Heath Ledger did about a month before shooting was he locked himself in a hotel room so no one could actually disturb him for like a month as he got into his own thought pattern for Joker. Just imagine being Joker for 24 hours a day for a month. Locked. You know how quarantine's been for the outbreak. Imagine doing that voluntarily and having no one visit you for a month. So that's what did it. He got into a point where he was so method. Joker kind of kept him up. He was insomniac after that. He couldn't go to sleep. And then that taking those pills was him trying to get to sleep. So Jack Nicholson Joker is pretty damn good.
I really, really hated the fact that they killed him off at the end. I noticed that in a lot of superhero movies they do that with their characters, kill them off. And there's so many that could play well into the next movie if they didn't kill them off.
Yeah, it's like, especially the really, really, really strong, iconic villains like Joker.
That was, it's like, okay, we're going to hit this out of the park because we're going to have the Joker in the first movie. This is the most iconic villain of Batman ever.
I'd say of all heroes. Maybe Lex Luthor might be.
I'm not sure of all heroes, but it is definitely very close. And then they went with Jack Nicholson. They started off really, really strong. They kept it going through the whole movie. They managed to keep it going. And then they killed him off. I don't know the thought process behind that. Why would you do that? Because that then stops you from having him, even if he's just in jail for the next movie, and Batman has to go visit him to try and work out what the next major villain's doing or something like that. It made no sense to kill him off.
My thought process, and it's just my opinion, I don't say this is what actually happened, but I think it probably be because he cost a lot of money. He got paid in box office percentage, which was millions, absolute millions he got. I don't think he comes back for sequels very often, so they're like, well, we're not going to get him back probably, so how can we end it and make sure that no one after Burton or something tries to be another Joker and completely blows it? So maybe they thought if we kill him, no one else can try and make a sequel with him in it. Before we go on to thing 2, I've got to talk about the car, the Batmobile, the best Batmobile ever, in my opinion. I love this design.
I do really enjoy the design, but I kind of did like the lighting for, is it Forever?
It's actually kind of based on Geiger, who did the Alien designs. That's why he designed the Batmobile. That's why it has that kind of like, you can see the kind of almost the spine of the Batmobile, if you will. So I do like that too, but I don't know, it's just maybe a little bit too lit up.
Whereas just the pure dark Batmobile was pretty good.
Yeah, I love the pure sleekness to it, the wings on the back, the jet engine that you have in the middle of it, the fact that it has the exhaust of the flames.
And the way the roof opens up to let him out.
Do you know that wasn't supposed to open that way when they designed the Batmobile? Tim Burton goes, this is great, but how are you supposed to get into it? And the guy's like, oh yeah, there's no doors. So they actually had to design it, had to come up with a redesign to figure out how to actually open up the door. Because they forgot about doors.
This looks amazing. How do you drive it? Pass.
Good question. We'll find out.
Yeah, after this ad break.
Another cool thing that a lot of people do mention on the trivia things, but I've got to say anyway, Michael Keaton was wearing Air Jordans when he had the Batman costume. They actually painted black some Nike Air Jordans because he said if he's going to be in this heavy costume for long hours, he needs comfortable footwear.
Weird.
So yeah, he's wearing Air Jordans when he's Batman.
Funny.
that's cool. But you don't notice it because he's wearing like so much stuff over the top, like the armor and like he has like armor gauntlets.
That's the first time I've heard of that, and that's crazy.
He's smart. He's a smart actor. Right, so that's what we got. So Batman 89, we both love it. It started what Batman has become, and people do criticize, like, I hate when people go, oh, who's a better Spider-Man, Tom Holland or Tobey Maguire? It's like, well, if it wasn't for Tobey Maguire, there wouldn't be a Tom Holland. Just like if you're like, Christian Bale was much better than Keaton. If it wasn't for Keaton, no, there wouldn't be a Christian Bale. So as much as you might say, yep, he's cooler, he's better, but he's better because this movie exists.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Let's go through it and see how good it really is. So here is our interpretation/review of Batman 1989.
Alfred, nobody does it, Bennett.
Right, so movie starts with a journey through a trench-like area with the credits rolling while the iconic March of the Batman score is playing. I love this music, Jeff. Every time I hear it, the hairs on my arms start to go up when you hear that. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. It's like, oh, I can feel the goosebumps already.
Yeah, it's great.
When you're watching it for the first time, I know it's hard to say this now because you probably watched it a million times. When you first watched the starting, do you have any idea it's the Bat logo that you're actually going through with the camera? I was like, this is a weird looking trench.
No, this is the first time thinking of that.
Really? So when it goes through the trench, like you're going through all the trenches, it's got the credits, and then when it pulls out, you realise that's actually the Bat logo.
In 89.
And Batman 89, the credits, you go back and watch the starting, it's going through like a trench-like area, and then it pulls out, and it's actually the Bat logo.
Crazy. I think I need to stop this review and go have a look.
You don't realise, okay. Yeah. It's all right. There you go. You learn something every day.
Wow. Yeah.
After that, it cut to a shot of Gotham City. The moon is out, the city is alive with street sounds. It has a real 1920s type of feel to it. Real noir. When it cuts to a closer street shot, it reveals a city of many layers. Traffic at the bottom, buildings towering up to the sky, and the big giant steel archways connecting the buildings. The city looks dirty, dark, and formidable. So when I see that first shot of the streets and stuff, I'm like, oof, this looks like a place you don't want to mess with. It's not as gothic-y as what Batman Forever and Batman Robin are. You don't get the 40-minute backstory into how rundown Gotham is like you do in Batman Begins.
Yeah.
You kind of get the street shot. After that, you cut to a man trying to get a taxi for him and his family, only to have no luck. He decides to lead them through an alley, as perhaps there is a taxi on the other side.
That was a dumb move.
It was. It's pretty much just echoing, if you've watched any Batman movie before, that this is what happens to the Waynes. Very similar. So the man and the family are approached by a guy wanting some money, asking for $1. Just $1. They ignore him.
Do you know when I first saw this movie, I actually thought this was the Waynes?
Oh, I can see why, because it's very, pretty much bang on.
Yeah.
What happens to them? The family are then held up at gunpoint. One of them is the man who asked for money. So you're scumbag 2, aren't you? So I'm scumbag 1?
Yeah, let's tell everybody that. Before you do that, I just noticed that your mics, the stripes, look very much like the Batmobile.
Part of the reason why I actually got these.
Really?
Also because they're good quality, but I saw that and I thought Batman.
Yeah.
That's actually
I
serious.
just saw that as we were talking about it. I'm like, damn!
Yeah, so the Rode Procasters, if you want to know, they kind of look like the Batmobile's kind of stripes.
Yep.
I love it. Hey lady, do the kid a favor. Don't scream. The man is knocked down, and as soon as the scumbags leave, the woman screams. Then there is a bat-like shadow moving on the rooftops. It looks like an animated cartoon. So if you ever see that shot of him like looking on the rooftops, it just looks like a cartoon walking on the streets. It's like,
Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
that part doesn't age so well, but hey, it's 89.
We can forgive it.
Scumbags are on another rooftop, going through the lady's purse, counting the money, talking about what happened to their friend, Johnny Gobbs, who apparently fell off a rooftop.
I don't like his last name.
Johnny Gobbs.
Yeah. Gobbs was gobsmacked.
Yeah, it's a street name. Hey, look, man, Johnny Gobbs got ripped and took a walk off the roof. No big loss.
No, man, that ain't what I heard at all. I heard that the bat got him.
The bat? Oh, man, give me a break. As the scumbags are talking, a bat figure glides behind them. Then the scumbags are approached by a large bat-like man. They shoot him, but he just gets back up. Batman then kicks the gun out of the scumbag's hands while also knocking the other one down.
Imagine how awkward that would have been in that suit, because it doesn't move much.
You see him when he kicks it, he just kicks with no arms. Like,
Yeah.
he just,
Like,
my arms, I can't move.
It's like looking at one of those really old action figures with karate kicking action.
I can't move my arms and legs at the same time. Pick one.
Yeah.
Batman then grabs Scumbag 1 and holds him over the edge of the rooftop. That's what I call him, Scumbag 1. Don't kill me, man! Don't kill me! Here's my Batman voice. I'm not going to kill you. I want you to tell all your friends about me. What are you? I'm Batman.
Have you noticed that your scumbag changed voice?
Did he?
Yeah.
What are you? Is that more like him?
Yeah, you sort of went, oh, and then you're like, what are you? And I'm like, woo, he went whiny.
We got it again. What are you? Is that better? What are you? I'm Batman. Better?
Yeah.
Batman then throws the scumbag down and glides off the rooftop. Scumbag is left in disbelief to what just happened. I guess the police picked them up, or did Batman let the robbers just go spread the word? Who knows? Meanwhile, the mayor is introducing the new district attorney, Harvey Dent, who has been brought down to take down Carl Grissom and his gang. Jack Napier is watching Harvey on TV.
Decent people shouldn't live here. They'd be happier someplace else.
Pretty tough talk about Carl.
That's so bad. Oh, God. Don't worry about it. If this clown could touch Grissom, I'd hand him his lungs by now.
If Grissom knew about us, he might hand you something.
Don't flatter yourself, Angel. He's a tired old man. He can't run this city without me. And besides, he doesn't know.
Napier looks in the mirror. You look fine.
I didn't ask.
This bit sums up Jack Napier's character, a cold-hearted gangster who doesn't care about anyone but himself. That's what I get from the scene, Jeff. I get he doesn't care. He just kind of sounds bored.
Yeah. I played him off that way. Wink, wink.
Yeah, no, not your voice. Just,
Yeah, I know. I knew what you meant.
His whole character in this is like, I'm screwing the boss's wife, but yeah, kind of bored.
And how she's like, oh, you look fine. He's like, I didn't ask.
Scumbags are taken away on a stretcher. Oh, so Batman did call the cops. He wasn't just leaving them on the rooftop because they got taken away.
Yeah.
Eckhart watches and suspects that their story will be about a giant bat-like creature. Eckhart is then greeted by a news reporter, Alexander Knox. Knox is investigating the bat. Eckhart tells Knox not to print anything about the bat. But Knox was like, they say he can't be killed. They say he drinks blood. Eckhart blows him off. That's right, Eckhart blows him off, not the other one, all right?
Blows him off.
Eckhart blows him off and leaves to meet up with Jack Napier in the back alley behind this crime scene. So he just goes around the corner from where all the cops and all the ambulance stuff are, and Jack Napier's just around the corner. It's like, no one's seen this? All right. Either Napier is very stupid or very bold.
Bold.
Kind of shows you how far Grissom's reach has affected the city. Eckhart is on Grissom's payroll. This is a very noir feeling scene. Smoke rising from the sewers onto the street.
Smoke or steam?
Steam or smoke? It looks smoky steam. Smoky steam rising from the sewers onto the street. Sounds like a commentary. Nice use of silhouettes of men in hats, because you don't see their faces a lot, you see the silhouette of them.
If you walk past them, you're like, hey, that looks really suspicious. Shut up, Carl, keep walking.
And Jack gives Eckhart some money. They talk about Harvey Dent. Eckhart says, I answer to Grissom, not to psychos.
You sound like that puppet of Family Guy. Oh, Christ. Why, Eckhart, you ought to think about the future.
You mean when you run the show? You ain't got no future, Jack. You're an A1 nutball, and Grissom knows it.
Grissom pulls a gun out on Napier, only for Napier's right-hand man, Bob, to pull out a gun from over Jack's shoulder, pointing it at Eckhart. Eckhart stands down.
See, you can make a good decision when you try.
Cut to daytime. The mayor wants the festival to continue, even though the city seems to be in quite a lot of debt. Dent and Commissioner Gordon concerned about having this festival. Seems like a lot of businesses have been scared off by Grissom. Mayor says they won't be scared if they get Grissom in a courtroom. But they're not. You've had how many years to do this and they still haven't got him?
Yeah.
Like, come on. Knox arrives at his newspaper where the other staff members are making fun of him with mock drawings of a bat and human clothes. Or that they heard sightings of a Bigfoot. Knox then meets Vicky Vale, a famous photographer who has recently covered some war-torn countries. She wants to help Knox investigate Batman. Knox and Vale prepare to go to Bruce Wayne's fundraising party, as Commissioner Gordon will be there. Carl Grissom is angry about Harvey Dent investigating Access Chemicals. Napier says how a team should break into Access Chemicals and destroy the records. Grissom loves the idea, but wants Jack to deal with it personally. Jack seems surprised by this, must usually outsource this. Jack is also flipping through his lucky deck of cards and pulls out the Joker. There is the clip hole through the card. I believe casinos do this to identify their cards and to stop cheating, because there's like a hole punched right through the card.
Basically, it's a used deck. They put a hole through it so that someone can't pocket cards and then swap them out. Carl, can we get someone else to do this? The fumes of that place.
Jack, it's an important job. I need someone I can trust. You are my number one guy. Now don't forget your lucky deck.
As Jack walks away, you can see that Grissom's smile turns into internal rage. He knows about Jack and his wife.
My friend, your luck is about to change.
Grissom dials a phone. Police department. What do you mean, police department? What district of Gotham are you? Or is it just one station in the entire city?
Get me Lieutenant Eckhart.
Cut to casino scene where big money is being spent. It's actually at Bruce Wayne's manor. Knox is at the party and is approached by a distinguished-looking elderly butler. Knox tips him with cash. You then see Vicky with her white dress and big puffy arm pieces.
Yeah, that dress looked horrible.
The puffy arms. The rest of it was okay. It's the puffy arms.
Yeah, okay.
When she walks past and is greeted by the same butler, the camera stays on the butler for a couple of extra moments, showing you that this character is important. Excuse me, could you tell me which of these guys is Bruce Wayne? Stranger goes, well, I'm not sure. Thanks anyway. After Vicky leaves, again the camera stays on the stranger, confirming he too is an important character. I love how the stranger keeps putting things in strange places, forcing the butler to clean up after him. A pen in a plant display and a champagne glass on the edge of the craps table. So he's putting stuff down and you see Alfred's just...
Come on, man. Don't make me kill you in the background.
You can see his face like, God damn it. Every party I've got to go to, I've got to make sure Bruce doesn't put something down somewhere stupid. The stranger follows Vicky. Knox tries to interview Commissioner Gordon, but Gordon denies that there is a Batman. Commissioner Gordon is then notified of an anonymous tip. Napier is cleaning out Access Chemicals. Gordon is confused why he was not told about this, but when he finds out that Eckhart is in charge, he gets worried. So Gordon knows that Eckhart is dirty. Why is he still a cop? If you know a cop is dirty, why are you still letting him be a cop?
Well, it's Gotham City, so probably a lot of cops die.
Like Commissioner Gordon says in Batman Begins, in this town, who is there to rat to anyway? Vicky and Knox go looking for Gordon, but end up in a room that has different armors from different places of the world, showing that Bruce Wayne has traveled to a lot of places. Kind of give you a hint of he's been all around the world training as Batman. The stranger then follows them into the room. Knox goes, "Oh, where did that come from?" Stranger, "It's Japanese." "How do you know?"
Why does your Knox sound like the Doc from Back to the Future?
Great Scott, Bruce!
Yeah, great Scott, Bruce. We have to go back in time.
Because I bought it in Japan. Who are you? Oh, sorry. Bruce Wayne. Goes to shake Knox's hand. Bruce says how he likes Knox's work a lot. Knox jokingly says, "Thanks. Can I have a grant?" Bruce asks Alfred, the butler from before, to give Knox a grant a little later on. It's a bit of a funny little joke. Vicky goes, "Vicky Vale," and holds out her arm. "Hi, Bruce Wayne. Are you sure?" "Yeah, this time." Bruce looks to hide his identities in this, obviously the fact that he's Batman, but even to Vicky about being Bruce Wayne, using your knowledge and identities to your own advantage. So even in this, even when someone asks him who Bruce Wayne is and they don't know who he is, he takes the advantage of figuring out who they are first. It's just a good Batman detective thing. Bruce says how he's seen Vicky's work. Bruce brushes off Vicky when she mentions Batman. Alfred then comes in.
I'll be Alfred. Sir, Commissioner Gordon was compelled to leave.
All right. Thanks, Alfred.
Very unexpectedly, sir.
Will you two excuse me?
I think perhaps this way, sir.
Knox and Vicky look into the giant mirror, never realizing that Bruce had 3 giant 80s style security cameras behind it. Shot from the mirror pans out to reveal the Bat computer in the Batcave, where Bruce is rewinding cameras to hear what Gordon was informed about before. Amazing how crystal clear the sound is with an 80s security setup and a room full of people yelling and screaming around him. Bruce finds out that Jack Napier's cleaning out excess chemicals. But it is funny, like you hear that Commissioner Gordon talking to the cop. It's crystal clear and it's in a party room. Really good technology that Batman wouldn't give the world because no camera was that crystal clear. Even today.
Yeah.
Cut to Axios Chemicals. Eckhart is outside the building handing out pictures of Jack Napier. Shoot to kill, you know what I mean? I'm guessing he means shoot to kill. How can someone not know what you mean? You know what I mean? It's like, you said shoot to kill, it's pretty obvious.
Shoot to kill, shoot to kill.
Jack and his crew get to the safe inside Axios Chemicals, only to find it empty.
We've been routed out here, boys. Watch it.
This starts a shootout between the cops and Napier and his men. So smart to start shooting in a chemical factory.
Yeah.
That's the cops that almost started, I think. I'm not sure who it does, actually. It might be the bad guys, but obviously, well done. Bravo.
It's like they're pointing out the obvious themselves. Saves the audience going, don't think they should be doing that.
Jack runs upstairs while the commissioner arrives. Gordon tells Eckhart he's in charge and not Carl Grissom. Again, why did Gordon let Eckhart continue as a cop if he knew he was dirty? Gordon says he wants Jack Napier alive.
Cheap pay?
Don't know. He might have his reasons. Eckhart tries to scurry away. You see, like he just tries to run like a
Cockroach?
like a weasel. There is a shot where the cops are firing at some of Jack's goons, and they're firing back. No one is really behind any cover, yet no one has been hit by bullets. It's just like they're shooting, and then they're shooting back, but no one's dying.
Oh my god.
They're stormtroopers.
Yeah, damn it. I was waiting for you to go, what? And then I was going to go, they're all stormtroopers. But you took the words out of my mouth.
Because I'm Batman. You see, I'm doing the voice of Batman. I'm thinking like Batman.
Yeah.
The arrival of Batman is iconic. The way he glides down with smoke behind him. Batman then uses his grapple gun to take down 2 goons. There is also a scene where a goon is walking along and Batman is hiding behind a pipe. Batman just sticks out his arm and knocks out the goon. He just goes, bam! Batman starts to stalk after Napier. Jack is on the top floor catwalk, close to the exit. Gordon in this is just laughable. Tells his men to be careful, like he's a dad telling his kids to be careful on their bikes. All right, you go that way, you go that way. Now, take care now, take care. It's like,
don't forget to wear your helmets and your knee pads. Dad, I've been doing this for 5 years. I have a gun, Dad.
Batman disarms Napier and has him up in the air, but Bob puts a gun to Commissioner Gordon's head, threatening to kill him unless Batman lets Napier go. Batman puts Jack down. But puts him down, like he doesn't kill him, he puts him down. Jack goes down to grab his gun, and when he pops up to shoot Batman...
Does he pop up like a Jack-in-the-Box?
Oh, and I thought my jokes were bad. Welcome to one of the first time Batman ghosts someone on film or TV. This happens a lot. Get used to it. Jack points his gun at Eckhart.
Eckhart, think about the future.
Bang! Jack shoots Eckhart. This is one of those get shot, then throw yourself against something due to the tremendous impact of the shot. So he gets shot, then he falls like 5 feet into some pipes, like slams into them, then falls down like a movie style.
Yeah.
By this time, Bob has left Gordon behind, so Batman shows back up, blocks Jack's gunshot. The bullet deflects off a steel pipe, then back towards Jack, tearing up his face and knocking him over the ledge. So Jack's face is already messed up a fair bit before he goes into the vat of chemicals because of the bullet. Yes, you look in the screen, you can actually see a lot of damage to his face.
I reckon that's how the chemicals get into his bloodstream.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
The open wound would have been how the chemicals got into his system.
Yeah, that's a good call. When I watched it this time around, I never realised this much. I always thought he tried to save Jack and then couldn't actually save him. But I've got here, Batman tries to save Jack. Or does he? As he grabs Jack's hand, Batman is staring Jack in the face. Then the grip is lost and he falls into the acid. I think Batman let Napier go. on purpose. So Batman supposedly tried to kill Jack Napier early. I guess it explains a bit at the end where more of Joker falling from the roof. So in this one, you know how someone in the movie, when they're letting go, they slip out of their hands and their fingers connect before they slip out? Napier just kind of went. I think Batman dropped him.
It's definitely a good theory, but you got to keep in mind that Batman doesn't kill.
But at the end of this movie, he says, I'm going to kill you. He says that to Joker at the rooftop. It's actually one of my notes. He goes, I'm going to kill you.
Maybe it's kind of like Daredevil and all that, where they start out killing and then go, this shouldn't be how I do this, and change their minds.
Yeah, because I always assumed that he let him go by accident, like he tried to save him. But the way he loses the grip isn't like a stereotypical way that people lose their grip. Usually they hold on to the very end, but he just let him go.
I kind of understand if it was the Joker, but as he was Jack Napier at the time, I don't feel that he would kill a person like that. If you're going to kill Napier like that, why not kill all the rest of his thugs like that? Why just knock them out? Because they're just as bad as him. He's not the top dog. He's just a guy who wants to be the top dog, but he's still a henchman like the rest of them at this point.
And by this point, too, he doesn't know that he killed Bruce's parents.
Yeah, exactly.
I think later on when he wants to kill him on the rooftop, it's because he knows that he killed his parents. Gordon tries to capture Batman, but he uses a smoke bomb and his grapple gun to escape. Jack's hand then rises from the acid, like Shredder in the end of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990 movie, but this came before it. So Vicky and Bruce have dinner together, both sitting at opposite ends of a very long table. When you see them sitting in there, it's kind of like, this is awkward.
Yeah. Looks really awkward, to be honest.
Do you like eating in here? Oh yeah. To tell you the truth, I don't think I've ever been in this room before.
Which one is it where they're at like opposite ends of a massive table and they can't hear each other talking? They've got to like pick up their voices.
I'm not sure. Unless she yells at him.
Yeah.
Can you pass the salt? She says that part. But yeah, she says, do you like eating in here? And he's like, oh yeah. To tell you the truth, I don't think I've ever been in this room before. And she's like, do you want to get out of here? Yes.
Too bad. I've locked the doors.
Vicky and Bruce end up having dinner with Alfred, who tells Vicky stories about when Bruce was young. I really like the scene as it gives you a glimpse of the love and respect Bruce has for Alfred. He's more than just a butler. He's family to Bruce. And this part really gives you that fatherly kind of feel.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, actually, watching that.
It's a really good scene. Cut to a seedy underground back alley surgery room where Napier is removing his bandages. The doctor who worked on him has a shocked look on his face.
Mirror. Mirror.
Doctor hands him the mirror. Napier seems very sad, but then starts maniacally laughing, like he's just snapped and has gone into a full psychotic breakdown. Vicky and Bruce start making out. Meanwhile, Carl Grissom is in his office. So I've done this part with Vicky and Bruce making out, because all it is like, hey, I've been drinking all night, and you're like, nothing. And he's like, yeah, one drink and I'm flying.
Sounded like Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah. Whoa, hey, whoa, one drink and I'm flying. You know what I mean?
I've had a hard life.
Meanwhile, Carl Grissom is in his office.
Is that you, Sugar Bumps? Who the hell are you?
It's me, Sugar Bumps.
Jack, oh, thank God you're alive. I heard you'd been...
Fried? Is that what you heard? You set me up over a woman? A woman? You must be insane, says the guy who's wearing clown makeup.
Drinks his scotch, then tries to reach over for a gun.
Don't bother.
Your life won't be worth spit.
I've been dead once already. It's very liberating. You should think of it as therapy.
Jack, listen. Maybe we can cut a deal.
Jack? Jack is dead, my friend. You can call me Joker. And as you can see, I'm a lot happier.
Cue circus music while Joker shoots Grissom multiple times and dances and laughs. Cut to Vicky sleeping in a bed with Bruce next to her. Then Bruce, well, he's sleeping upside down like a bat. Yes, we get it. He's Batman. Not a fan of this part. Don't think I've seen Bruce sleep upside down in any other version of Batman.
What?
But yeah, like he's like sleeping upside down on like one of those bird kind of swings.
Is he? Why don't I remember that?
Because you blocked it from your memory because it's just so, it's so on the nose.
It really is. It's not a wonder nobody knows he's Batman.
Yeah. And he's got his arms crossed like a bat. Cut back to Joker reading the paper.
Winged freak terrorizes. Wait till they get a load of me.
Bruce and Vicky then wake up in the morning. Vicky wants to meet with Bruce, says he can't as he needs to leave town for a few days. But then Vicky says to Alfred that she will see them when they get back. But then Alfred completely blows the story by saying that they're not going to be going anywhere for quite a while. Good one, Alfred. This makes Vicky suspicious. I wonder why. Carl's wife arrives at her home to find the Joker. She faints for obvious reasons. Joker tells the gang board that he is the acting president until Carl Grissom returns to town. Very stereotypical mafia boss-looking guys. Joker has painted his face to look skin-coloured, but he still has his great big smile. Terrifying looking face that will haunt my nightmares.
Yeah, ooh. It's weird how you see Jack Napier, you're fine. You see Joker, you're fine. You see Joker wearing makeup to look not like Joker, you're creeped out.
Just the skin, flesh colour with the smile?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Your horse?
Wilbur! One of the guys called Tony, because of course he is, says what if they say no? Joker says that nobody wants a war, so they can just shake hands and that will be it. Tony shakes Joker's hand, but when he does, he activates a heat buzzer in Joker's hand that causes Tony to burn alive until he's nothing but a charred skeleton. Sound effect from buzzer seems to be the same or something very similar to Superman's heat vision sound from the Christopher Reeve Superman movies.
Ooh, oh, I've got a live one. Anthony got a little hot under the collar.
Joker sends Bob to follow Knox to see what he knows about Batman.
And Bob, remember, you are my number one guy.
I'll do Bob.
Yes, sir. He's just real gruff. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Joker talks to Tony, his charred corpse.
Your pals, they're not bad people. Maybe we give them a couple of days to think it over. No? Grease them now? Well, okay, you're a vicious prick. I'm glad you're dead. I'm glad you're dead.
Knox and Vicky are fighting about Vicky needing to do her job. Vicky is confused how there is no file on Bruce Wayne. So Vicky starts following Bruce around the city. She follows Bruce to Crime Alley, where Bruce places 2 roses on the ground for his parents. Vicky picks them up. No, Vicky, put them down. Those are not yours.
He didn't leave them there for you.
It's like, yeah, she just comes and picks them up. It's like, no, respect, please. Vicky, my God. Cut to town hall where a gangster, don't know his name, filed an injunction to take over Carl Grissom's businesses as a special favour until he returns. The media are there to ask him why. Bruce is also there listening to the gangster explain. Meanwhile, mimes start appearing around the crowd. Vicky is also there as she's following Bruce like a stalker. Bob is there snapping pictures for the Joker. The Joker appears in the crowd and starts to talk to the gangster and his associates.
It is legitimate. I saw with my own eyes. He reached up with his cold, dead hand and signed it in his own blood. And he did it with this pen.
Joker shows this colourful feather quill.
Hello, Vinny. It's your Uncle Bingo. Time to pay the check.
Joker throws the quill at Vinny's neck, killing him.
A quill kills this guy. I really hope that even though they don't say it, it's got poison in it or something, because it's just a quill to the neck.
Well, I'd say poison. Joker throws the quill at Vinny's neck, killing him. Ah, okay, so the gangster's name was Vinny. Because I just put random gangster.
But he said hello, Vinny. When
I
he
know.
threw it.
That's why I put it my thing. Okay, his name's Vinny. Because I didn't care.
The pen is truly mightier than the sword.
The mimes start shooting with machine guns around the crowd, causing a panic and allowing Joker to leave in a car. Bruce can do nothing but watch as the cops are mowed down by mimes. Bruce is confused by the whole thing and gets more confused when he sees Vicky. The mayor refuses to cancel the festival.
What a douche.
Joker uses a boxing glove gun contraption to destroy the TV.
I love this. I love it. Boosh. Batman? Batman? Can somebody tell me what kind of world we live in when a man dressed as a bat gets all my press? This town needs an enema. Ugh. This town needs something shoved up its ass.
That's what this town needs. Bruce and Alfred talk about Vicky. Bruce is, of course, very unsure about their relationship. Bruce also gets Alfred to research Jack Napier since he recognized Joker at the town hall incident. Alfred! She is great, isn't she?
Yes, sir.
Vicky rings Knox to ask him to find out what is so special about the alley that Bruce visited. Bob shows Joker photos from a town hall incident. This is where Joker sees Vicky and weirdly cuts her out like he's making a collage of something. Bob says how she is dating some guy named Wayne. Okay. Who did Bob talk to find out this information about who Vicky is dating? But yeah, how does Bob know that Vicky's dating Bruce? It's not like common knowledge.
Yeah. It's like, oh, well, I read the script, okay? That's how I found out.
I mean, if this had been 2009, yeah, sure, Facebook would have told him. And in a relationship with Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. I just checked Facebook. That's how I know.
Bruce Wayne likes the Batman fan page. Joker gets Bob to get him a phone book and starts to dance.
So much to do and so little time.
Cut to Access Chemicals. Joker tells a crazy scientist-looking guy to ship all the products out, as he has something planned for Gotham. Action News team are preparing to go on air. You can see the female anchor applying makeup while the lights are down. Good evening. The fashion world was stunned today by the sudden deaths of models Candy Walker and Amanda Keeler. Cause of death has been attributed to a violent allergic reaction, although authorities have not ruled out the possibility of drug use. Peter?
And plans continue for the city's 200th birthday, as Mayor Bogg announces today the unveiling.
Gets handed a piece of paper.
This just in, 3 mysterious deaths at a beauty parlor. At a beauty parlor in Gotham were discovered today. Becky! This is hardly the... Becky!
Female anchor falls off her chair to the ground laughing. Producers kill the cameras and call in the paramedics. Meanwhile, all the TV station signals are hijacked by Joker, who has shopping carts with full cutouts of the 2 fashion models who were found dead.
New and improved Joker products. With the secret ingredient, smiling. Now let's go over to our blind taste test.
Love that Joker!
Uh-oh, he doesn't look happy. He's been using brand X. But with new and improved Joker brand, I get a grin again and again.
That Joker smile the victims have are freaking terrifying. It's like you see Becky, the news lady, she turns her over, she's like, this big old smile.
It's like in the cartoon when they're like, we're not going to kill them, but we'll give them these creepy smiles.
Yeah, because the producers of that, Bruce Timmons and stuff, said they weren't allowed to kill the victims, but they could give them the Joker smiles, which is 10 times creepier.
Way creepier. I'd rather see them die than that creepy smile. Nothing against people dying, obviously. It's just that the Joker smile is really creepy.
Yeah, I think in this that kills them as well, though.
Oh, it definitely does, yes. That luscious tan, those ruby lips, And hair color so natural. Only your Undertaker knows for sure. I know what you're saying. Where can I get these fine new items? Well, that's the gag. Chances are you've bought them already.
Love that Joker.
So remember, put on a happy face.
Bruce does not seem to be impressed by Joker's TV commercial, and he starts reading through Jack Napier's file that Alfred gave to him.
Well, Joker only had so much to work with, so that's why the TV commercial was not that great. I mean, the models were dead, for crying out loud. What did Bruce expect?
Violent mood swings, highly intelligent, emotionally unstable. Napier has been studying chemistry in the past, which gets Bruce thinking. He tells Alfred to start shopping. Newspaper reads, Cosmetic scare in Gotham. Product tampering, 13 lives. Who is this mysterious Joker? The news anchors now wear no makeup. I get that, but do they need to look like they haven't slept or showered in a week? Because they've got like all these bad pimples. Yeah. The lady hasn't even brushed her hair. I don't think the brushes contained anything.
Yeah, I know. It's great.
Vicky rings Bruce to tell him she will be 10 minutes late to the museum. Alfred informs Bruce.
Sir, a message from Miss Vale. She will be 10 minutes late in meeting you at the museum.
Okay, fine. Wait, Alfred. I'm not meeting her today. Joker starts putting on his flesh-coloured paint when Carl's wife comes in wearing a creepy porcelain mask. Jack, where are you going?
Daddy's going to make some art, darling.
Vicky arrives at the museum. She sits down. She is then given a gift. Inside it is a mask. It instructs her to put it on. She does when all the people around her start to collapse. Once everyone is either dead or unconscious, not sure which, Joker comes in to the song Party Man from Prince. Him and his goons start painting over some of the gallery's exhibits.
It's a really good song, by the way. It just worked so well with the Joker. Like, there's some, you remember the song and you're like, it's a good song, don't get me wrong. And it's a good actor, don't get me wrong, but the two don't really mix. I felt for that one, that mixed really well.
It really does. Oh, hell, new king in town. Joker ends up at Vicky's table.
Is that your portfolio?
I'm meeting someone who wants to see my work.
Crap, 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 crap. Ah, now that's good work. The skulls, the bodies, you give it all such a glow. I don't know if it's art, but I like it. Let me tell you what I'm thinking about, sweetie. I was in the bath one day when I realized why I was destined for greatness. You know how concerned people are about appearances. This is attractive. That is not. Well, that is all behind me. I now do what other people dream. I make art until someone dies. See? I am the world's first fully functioning homicidal artist.
What do you want?
My face on the $1 bill.
You must be joking.
Do I look like I'm joking?
Well...
Listen, we mustn't compare ourselves to regular people. We're artists. For instance, let me challenge you with a bit I did. Bob, Alicia, you will take pictures and record my work. You will join me in the avant-garde of the new aesthetic.
Jack, you said I could watch you improve the paintings.
Ooh, I'm in trouble now.
Why is she wearing that mask?
Well, she's just a sketch, really. Alicia, sit down. Show the lady why you wear the mask. You see, Miss Vale, Alicia's been made over in line with my new philosophy. So now, like me, she's a living work of art.
Pretty freaky looking too, with the old scar. And she's got a very pale face. Did he use some of the acid maybe as well?
Yeah, I think so.
Vicky freaks out, but then pretends to go along with Joker. Joker asks what Vicky knows about Batman. Joker tries to acid flower Vicky in the face. She runs over to a jug of water and throws it in at Joker's face. Joker pretends that the water is burning him, even to the point that Vicky gets concerned. Then Joker scares her by going, "Boo!" with his makeup coming off in streams. I've actually got the old Chase pop vinyl of that exact moment right there.
Yeah, it looks good.
Batman then breaks through the roof, grabs Vicky using a Flying Fox grapple gun, and escapes into the Batmobile. The best Batmobile ever.
Get in the car.
Where does he get those wonderful toys?
Joker's goons chase Batman through the city while the Batman theme rings out. Ba-na-na-na, ba-na-na-na-na. Batmobile has a grapple hook that helps it turn sharp corners. I like he shoots it onto the pole and he can go around a sharp corner.
Love it.
He has a tool for everything. Batman and Vicky are forced to vacate the Batmobile.
Let's go. Shields.
Batman turns on his shields to the Batmobile. This encases an armadillo-like casing. Kind of looks like an armadillo when he kind of puts the shields up. Batman and Vicky get chased into an alleyway.
How much do you weigh?
About 108, I think. Batman then uses his grapple hook to blast up in the air with Vicky.
Hold on.
They stop about halfway up.
See that thing on my belt? Grab it. Whatever you do, don't let go.
Batman jumps down and fights goons. Batman is shot and falls to the ground.
No blood. Hey, who is this guy?
Check his wallet.
Wait a minute. Wait. What is that? Some type of body armor? He's human after all.
Take off his mask.
Vicky takes a picture. The flash distracts the goons. This gives Batman a chance to get up and beat down the goons. Another one shows up with swords or long knives. Batman deflects his shots with his gauntlets and knocks the goon back. Goon tries to charge again, but gets a big bat boot in the face.
Yep. Buh!
Bob pops up, but then drops his machete and runs away.
Shields open.
Batmobile starts remotely driving towards Batman, and he turns it to Vicky.
You weigh a little more than 108.
Oh, really?
Let's go.
Batman drives Vicky to the Batcave. I love the gothic music and the Batmobile driving through the woods.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, eh? Yeah. I really like the music for this. I like that it all works in together. In some movies, you get music that works in well and it's great, and then you get some that aren't in the same movie. Although it's a great song, doesn't work in well with the scene. Whereas for this, for me personally, I felt that every song worked in well with the scene that it was in.
It enhances the scene. Doesn't distract.
Yes, definitely.
Then the Batmobile driving into the Batcave is awesome as well. Like it goes through the doorway.
Oh, yeah.
And then when he's going, it's like, ha, ha. Then the music just ends perfectly when he stops. But I love this car. Have I mentioned that before? Vicky almost walks off the edge of the Batmobile platform when she walks in the Batcave. She's like, oh, God. He's like, yeah, watch your foot in there. It's like a massive drop. Imagine how many people he dropped off there and killed them. He's like, this person's gone missing, Batman. Can you find them? I'll look into it. Yeah. Not in my Batcave, though. Batman has figured out that Joker's toxin has to be combined, e.g. lipstick on its own won't work. But lipstick combined with hairspray could be lethal. A lot of people think that you're as dangerous as the Joker.
He's psychotic.
Some people say the same about you.
What people?
Well, I mean, let's face it, you're not exactly normal, are you?
It's not exactly a normal world, is it?
Why did you bring me here? You could have sent that stuff to the press yourself.
You're right. There is something else you have that I want.
What? Batman pulls up his cape, sending some bats screaming. Oh, this does not look good. It's like, oh my God. Vicky wakes up in her bed. Vicky realizes that Batman took her film reel of their adventure the night before. Ah, okay, that's what he wanted. Phew. All right then. The paper puts Batman's cracked code news in its headline.
I've given a name to my pain, and it's Batman. We've got a flying mouse to kill, and I want to clean my claws.
Bruce goes to Vicky's place to talk and to tell her that he is Batman. Bruce pushes Vicky down to a chair. Whoa, take it easy there, Bruce.
Yeah.
Trying to argue, and he's like, no, and he's just like pushes her down and makes her sit in the chair and goes, shut up and listen to me for a second. I'm like, come on, Bruce, no. Bruce rambles on incoherently for a moment before trying to tell her, but then Joker shows up.
Miss me? Nice place you've got here. Lots of space. Ah, Vicky, we really should have a talk. I'm really upset. Without so much as an apology, you ran off with that sideshow phony. You know what, Vic? I've recently had a tragedy in my life. Alicia threw herself out of the window.
Oh my God.
But you can't make an omelette without breaking some eggs.
The smashing of Alicia's mask is a very dark and powerful message. When he punches it, it's like, oh. Joker then sees Bruce.
Well, Miss Vale, another rooster in the henhouse. Take thy beak from out my heart.
Bruce?
Bruce? Wayne? Nespar?
Most of the time. I know who you are. Let me tell you about this guy I know, Jack. Mean kid. Bad seed. Hurt people.
I like him already.
You know what the problem was? He got sloppy. Crazy. He started to lose it. He had a head full of bad wiring, I guess. Couldn't keep it straight up here. He was the kind of guy who couldn't hear the train until it was 2 feet from him. You know what happened to this guy, Jack? Well, he made mistakes. Then he had his lights out. Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Tell me something, my friend. Ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
What?
I always ask that of my prey. I just like the sound of it.
Bang. Joker shoots Bruce while Vicky screams.
Never rub another man's rhubarb.
Joker's saying that he says the devil in the pale moonlight line to all of his prey. That is not very well established in this film and just seems like a cheap way to connect Bruce to Joker being the killer of his parents.
Yeah, real cheap.
In all of Joker's or Jack's previous killings in this film, not once does he say this line. He could have said it to Eckhart at Axis Chemicals. He could have said it to Grissom. He could have said it to the mob boss before he stabbed him with the pen. But no, he says it to the one guy who could link it to his past.
Yeah.
Joker then leaves Vicky's apartment.
I'll need a moment alone, boys. I'm only laughing on the outside. My smile is just skin deep. If you could only see inside, I'm really crying. You might join me for a weep.
Vicky turns to Bruce but sees that he is gone. Only thing left where he was is a metal tray with a bullet indent in it. So did the old Marty McFly from Back to the Future, even though I guess that came out after this as well. Joker leaves Vicky a present that has a hand grasping dead flowers. So it pops up and she faints. She goes, ah!
That line, actually, with the I'm only laughing on the outside, that's probably one of my favourite lines of his.
Shows some depth to his character, but then again, he's probably lying because he's lying right through this whole thing. Knox finds out that Bruce Wayne's parents were murdered in the alley that Vicky saw Bruce visit. It surprises me that they don't seem to know about the Wayne murders.
Yeah, it would have been a huge thing.
They were a very influential family to Gotham City, so it is strange that they haven't heard about the biggest murders that probably took place ever in Gotham City, and their reporters.
Yeah, that's pretty shocking.
Bruce is in the Batcave talking to Alfred about the file on his parents. What's on your mind, Alfred?
I do not wish to fill my few remaining years grieving for the loss of old friends, or their sons.
Cut to the town hall where the mayor postpones the 200-year anniversary festival. Joker then takes over the TV stations once again.
Joker here. Now you fellas have said some pretty mean things. some of which were true. Under that fiend boss Grissom, he was a thief and a terrorist. On the other hand, he had a tremendous singing voice. He's dead now, and he's left me in charge. Now, I can be theatrical, and maybe even a little rough, but one thing I am not is a killer. Yeah, right. I am an artist. I love a good party. So, truce? Commence our festival. And I've got a surprise for Gotham City. At midnight, I will dump 20 million in cash on the crowd. Don't worry about me. I've got enough.
The mayor tries to talk, but Joker just pushes his image off the monitor.
You heard it, folks. 20 million. And there will be entertainment. The big Dunkaroo, with me in one corner, and in the other corner, the man who has brought real terror to Gotham City. Batman. Can you hear me? Just the two of us. Mano y mano. I've taken off my makeup. Let's see if you can take off yours.
Bruce looks at Joker's image on the monitor, then looks at the newspaper article of his parents' murders. Time for a memory scene. Bruce reflects on that fateful night. Him with his parents outside the theatre, walking along while being followed. They head down an alley where they are approached by some men. His mum's beads are ripped from her neck. His dad tries to stop them, but is shot. The mum is then shot when she starts to scream, leaving only Bruce alive.
Tell me, kid, you ever danced with the devil by the pale moonlight?
The man, while pointing the gun, steps into the light. The guy who they cast as young Jack Nicholson looks pretty bang on and has a really expressive eyes and mouth. The other guy who was with Jack tells them that they need to go, so Jack uncocks his gun.
See you around, kid.
Alfred is leading Vicky Vale into the Batcave to see Bruce. Alfred Thaddeus Crane Pennyworth, what have you done?
Yep, pretty much.
Most people are saying, why did you lead her into the Batcave? There's no point. Only reason he did this was to try and force his hand to not being Batman.
Yeah.
Bruce and Vicky then talk. They talk about their feelings and things. Not going to quote the scene.
Feelings.
Not going to quote the scene, but they pretty much talk about why Bruce needs to be Batman. Bruce says how he would love to discuss not being Batman with Vicky, but Joker is out there and he has to go to work.
I'm sorry, I really am, but it's not great. For me, the best scene with him saying that he doesn't want to be Batman is back in The Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah, that's a better one. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
Cut to the first changing montage scene. This becomes a staple of the 90s Batman films. So he opens up the chamber, you see the Batsuit, and you see him putting on some of the outfit. No bat nipples yet, though. That's for later. So the Bat logo is a little different in the original movie. I'm glad they changed it to the more simplified version that they used in the posters moving forward in the series. So the posters had the right one. Like, you look up on the poster up there. That's the symbol they go with. But if you look in the actual original outfit, the Bat's logo is a little bit different at the bottom.
Oh, it is too.
It has like extra tails or something, or extra spikes.
Yeah.
It's a little bit strange. Originally they were going to go with that, but they changed it to the more simplified version, which I think works better.
Definitely.
Probably one of my favourite scenes in the movie. Cut to the Batmobile driving into Axis Chemicals while goons fire their guns at it. Have I mentioned how much I love this car?
No.
But it's the music amps up here too when he's driving through. So it has machine guns that can pop up from the sides, which Batman uses to shoot open the door. Once the Batmobile is inside, it goes into a defensive shell with a whole heap of bad guys around it. The Batmobile drops a black-looking metallic ball to the ground. Bad guys just look at it as it bounces to the ground. Then, boom! Axis Chemicals blows up. The Batmobile rides out with explosions happening all around it, going through all these explosions. It drives outside where Batman is waiting. He was remote controlling it like before. Very smart. And again, this shows Batman's intent to kill. Joker is in a helicopter flying above because he kills all those guys. He doesn't care. Cut to a giant float that is going down the main street of Gotham. Joker is riding in it while another Prince song plays. Trust, do ya? Trust, what makes you a real lover? Trust. I actually quite like that song.
Prince is really good.
Yeah, and it's actually saying the words trust, who do you? And this is actually part of the whole chapter is who do you trust? And he's trying to say it.
And Joker even says it himself.
So it ties in. Obviously, Prince wrote these songs for the Batman album, but still, it works perfectly. Crowd starts surrounding the float while money is thrown from the float. Vicky and Knox show up to report while the Batwing flies through the sky. The Bat theme is playing again. What it doesn't show you in the movie, but it does actually show you in the... There was a comic that came out of Batman 89 when it first released. My brother had it years ago when he was a kid. But it shows you that the money he's dropping actually isn't money. It's actually got Joker on the $1 bill, like he says to Vicky earlier in the movie.
Interesting. That's weird.
You never see it in the movie, but he's dropping fake money.
Crazy.
It's just to draw them out to, gas them all.
What a gas.
Joker starts to talk on a microphone from the float.
And now, folks, it's time for Who Do You Trust? Hubba, hubba, hubba. Money, money, money. Who do you trust? Me, I'm giving away free money. And where is Batman? He's at home washing his tights.
Joker then notices the Batwing flying high above. Joker then tells his boys to put on their masks.
And now comes the part where I relieve you, the little people, of the burden of your failed and useless lives. But, as my plastic surgeon always said, if you're gonna go, go with a smile.
Joker releases gas from the parade balloon. Vicky seems to be the first to realize. Knox tries to fight people off his car. Batman flies the Batwing in to deal with the balloons while some of Joker's goons fall from the rising balloons. One takes out a neon street sign on the way down, so they're holding on for some reason. Yeah, and they keep falling off the balloon. One just goes BAM! Right through a neon sign.
He should be dead.
Yeah, he will be dead, I'd say. Panic fills the street while Vicky drives away. Knox jumps on the front of the car, but falls off into some garbage. Comical scene. Batman uses the Batwing's balloon claw to grab Joker's balloons and fly them away. Batman really does have a tool for everything. It's like he has a cable grabbing device on his Batwing. Come on.
Cheesy as. And yet we still enjoyed it.
Batman cuts the cable and lets the balloons float high into the sky. Joker is upset and orders Bob to give him his gun. Then shoots Bob with it.
Gonna need a minute or two alone, boys.
Joker's goons start shooting to clear people away. Batwing flies up into the sky and for a moment aligns with the moon. That creates the classic bat signal look. I like that. It's cheesy, but I love it. Batman then flies the Batwing towards Joker and his men, preparing missiles, machine guns, the works. Talk about overkill. Joker is walking on the street, seemingly baiting the Batwing to come and get him. This scene is like the Dark Knight with Leach's Joker baiting Batman on his bike. So when you see this scene, I think this is where they probably homaged it.
Come on.
Hit me! Come on! Hit me! Hit me!
You know you want to.
Yeah, so I see that and I see this scene and like very similar. Batman shoots at Joker and his goons with all the Batwing's firepower, but somehow misses Joker. He like shoots it right below him and behind him, but completely misses him. Joker then pulls out a handgun with the longest barrel I've ever seen on it.
Yeah, and do you know what's really great about this? Think about how long he's had that down his pants, and he still walked really normal.
Yeah.
Like he's like, la 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 la. Oh, and by the way, comically long gun. Pew!
And he shoots the Batwing, causing it to crash land, which is like, wow.
That's the best part. Like, this gun is comically long, and he still takes out the Batwing with a gun. Handgun.
One single shot. Vicky goes to the Batwing to try and see if Batman is alive. She is greeted at the crash site by Joker and his really long gun. He radios his men.
Gotham City Cathedral. Transport for 2. 5 minutes.
Joker then looks up at the top of the cathedral.
Better make it 10.
Joker walks with Vicky into the cathedral. Batman then comes out of the wreckage. Batman out of the wreckage. Batman then comes out of the wreckage, walking after them. but he is in rough shape and stumbles into some benches that causes a domino effect from one bench into another. This reminds me of Evie in The Mummy from 1999 when she knocks over all those bookshelves. Joker hears the sound and knows Batman is coming. Joker and Vicky reach the top as Gotham PD, led by Commissioner Gordon, arrive at the bottom of the cathedral. Joker uses the acid from his flower to send the bell from the bell tower, crashing down, narrowly missing Batman and blocking the entrance so GCPD can't get up. Batman reaches the top.
It can be truly said that I have a bat in my belfry. Shall we dance?
Batman is greeted by some of Joker's goons. How did they get up there? We never saw them go up. Were they always up in the cathedral just in case?
Either that or they were on the helicopter.
But the helicopter hasn't arrived yet.
Okay.
It's just random. There is a guy who does a whole heap of flips and flies towards Batman with blades attached to his legs. Batman has a metal stopper on his palm of his hand and just KOs the guy straight away.
Oh, so cheesy.
The next one's funnier. Joker is dancing with Vicky. Another guy jumps at Batman from behind but falls through the floor and down to his death.
Yep.
It's like, what?
Terrible.
Big guy throws Batman around a bit, actually gives Batman a real whipping before Batman leg tosses him into a bow and down below. How many bows does this cathedral have? Joker continues to dance with Vicky.
It's as though we were made for each other. Beauty and the Beast. Of course, if anyone else calls you Beast, I'll rip their lungs out.
Vicky sees that Batman is around and distracts Joker by pretending to flirt with him until Batman is in position. But he says this in Bruce Wayne's voice, not in Batman's voice. Excuse me, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? Then punches Joker into the bow, and then he flies back at Batman.
I'm going to kill you.
You idiot. You made me, remember? You dropped me into that vat of chemicals. That wasn't easy to get over. And don't think I didn't try.
I know you did.
Batman starts mercifully beating down Joker. Joker uses fake gags like spitting out chattering teeth and tries to punch Batman in the stomach, but gets Supermaned. What I mean by get Superman is when someone punches Superman in the stomach and there's no effect.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, my hand.
You killed my parents.
What are you talking about?
I made you. You made me first.
Hey, Batbrain, I was a kid when I killed your parents. I say I made you. You got to say you made me. I mean, how childish can you get? You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you?
I love that line when he's wearing the glasses. I got the pop vinyl of that scene. When he just like punches him straight. Batman punches Joker square in the face, knocking him over the ledge. Batman and Vicky lean over to look, placing their hands on the ledge. Joker grabs them by the arm and throws them over. How strong is Joker?
I have a quick question. Of all the people Joker has killed, how does he know which ones were Bruce's parents?
I imagine that he assumes that Batman would have been young when his parents died. He never said that, but
Yeah.
the way it's affected him as being Batman, I'm guessing he realizes it would have been quite a few years ago. So he would have been a kid when he did it. Is my guess is why he knows that. I always thought that was like, how does he know? He never tells them it was 20, 30 years ago.
Just to move this along, let's just say that I killed your parents as a kid.
Exactly. Joker is now standing on a ledge over Vicky and Batman. Joker offers Vicky a hand, but it turns out to be a fake hand. Joker then starts kicking out chunks of the ledge as he laughs.
Oh, they don't make them like they used to. Do they? Hey, Batsy.
Joker's helicopter arrives at the scene and starts to set up to pick him up.
Well, it's time to retire. Feel free to drop in.
Joker grabs the bottom of the ladder and the helicopter starts to fly off. Batman shoots a rope that ties Joker's leg to a gargoyle that is on the rooftop. As the helicopter rises, Joker starts to fall. The weight of the gargoyle is too much for the Joker, and he eventually falls to his death. As Batman and Vicky are climbing up, the ledge gives away, and they fall until Batman uses his grapple gun to save them. Joker is seen on the ground, eyes wide open, smiling. A voice box in his jacket pocket is repeatedly laughing. This bit is very creepy.
Very creepy.
Oof. It's like seeing his face in the crackground with the blood on the side of his face on the
Yeah.
white. And his eyes are wide open, smiling. It was like, oof, terrifying. Cut to Commissioner Gordon with the mayor and Harvey Dent on the steps of the town hall, saying how they've rounded up all of Joker's men. Knox and Vicky say goodbye. This is where Harvey Dent has his one line in my thing.
We've received a letter from Batman this morning. Please inform the citizens of Gotham that Gotham City has earned a rest from crime. But if the forces of evil should rise again to cast a shadow on the heart of the city, call me.
Question, how do we call him? He gave us a signal. That's my good. He gave us a signal. Gordon turns on a spotlight with a bat-shaped design on it. The birth of the bat signal. Bat signal shines as Vicky gets into the car with Alfred.
I thought a champagne would be in order, ma'am.
Hi, Alfred.
Mr. Wayne told me to tell you that he might be a little late.
I'm not a bit surprised. Cut to a rising shot of Gotham and back to the bat signal in the sky with Batman looking. End of movie. So going through that, it was a bit of fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But on a whole, anything you've noticed going through it this time that you didn't notice last time that you're like, huh?
Well, actually, you pointed out most of the things that I didn't notice. The start scene with the bat logo, the sleeping upside down like a bat. Oh, God. So cheesy. So cheesy. Oh.
I've got here, Batman is a movie for all its flaws and things that haven't aged too well. It is a story and time capsule film for me that I just keep going back to again and again. Michael Keaton as Batman is phenomenal. Jack Nicholson as Joker is iconic. And this movie in general started Batman on his journey to becoming the hero we see today.
Do you know what? Even though you've said that it didn't age well, I still feel like it's one that I could go back and watch again and again.
When I say about age well, I mean like ethically. There's a lot of things, mistreatment of women is the big
Yeah,
thing,
that
of course.
was...
Second one is pretty bad for it too. Like, there's a bit where Catwoman gets home, when she has the answering machine, it's like, get this perfume and your boss will be asking you to stay late. It's like, ugh.
So lazy. And of course, she gets pushed out the window.
Yeah, by her boss. That's what I mean by things that haven't aged well. I think the actual film itself looks beautiful.
The actual film itself, but just parts of the film, like the way they killed them.
But yeah, it's also responsible. You've mentioned this before. It is also responsible for being the reason Batman the Animated Series was created, which I love with a passion. Oh, and did I mention how much I love the Batmobile?
Only like 5 times. And that should be a competition for people. Go count how many times this guy said that.
Right, so let's go through our ratings, shall we, Jeff? Let's start with story. What have you given out of 5 stars?
So I gave it 4 stars for the story purely because of the fact that it was great, but I really, 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 and I cannot stress enough, hate the fact that they killed the Joker. It's his most iconic villain, and they killed him.
Yeah, there's a couple of things, like, I really enjoyed the movie as well. The story was good enough to start the whole thing off. But then you look back where things like Vicky Vale was led into the Batcave. Joker was responsible for killing his parents.
Yep, that too. I should have put that in. Yeah, so Joker killing his parents instead of Joe Chill. Just killing the Joker at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, I think 4 stars too. It can't be a 5 if you've got that many issues as well. So with acting,
4.5 stars.
4.5. I have given it a 4 for mine.
I gave it a 4.5 because I felt that there was some characters in it that could have been better. For instance, I felt that perhaps if they were going to have Harvey Dent in it, he should have been a little bit better than he was. The problem is that perhaps when they were doing the movie, they didn't realise how much of an impact Harvey Dent made in Gotham City. Yes, eventually he becomes Two-Face. He does a lot of good before then.
He's too much of a background character, especially with Billy D. Williams, who's coming hot off Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Yeah. You cast him like that, you expect more.
Yeah, definitely. And there were some other characters that I felt weren't really up to snuff with the acting. I won't go into too much detail.
Yeah, I think I've given it a 4 because of that reason too. I think Batman and Joker, so Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton, are iconic now. That alone gives them a 4. But there's a lot of average acting outside of that. Commissioner Gordon's very hammy, not very memorable. Even though he's in it. Michael Gough's quite good. He's underrated as well as Alfred. I think he's always very good and he says the right thing at the right time. He doesn't say a lot, but when he does, you listen.
I wasn't really, I forget her name. Dang it. It's...
Kim Basinger?
How the heck did you... Okay, yep. I forget Kim Basinger's name because she was just average as Vicky Vale, basically. Kim Basinger is a good actor. I just did not feel she was right for Vicky Vale.
I thought she was too much of a damsel. As a reporter, you'd think almost like Lois, where she would be more used to these kind of dangerous places, especially how she's been overseas in the war-torn areas. Yeah. She came very much like, I can't defend myself in any situation, whereas...
As a reporter, not knowing about the death of the Waynes, it's just... didn't fly with me, man.
And Alex on the Knox too. What have you guys been smoking? But yeah, I'll give them a 4 just on Jack Nicholson's and Michael Keaton's and Goth as well. Michael Goth for Alfred. Yeah. So how well does it hold up for you, sir? How many do you give for this?
I would give it what I want to give it, but apparently I can only give it 5 stars. So 5 stars is what I give it.
5 stars. I'll give it a 4 because the ethical things I speak of that just haven't waged right. I think
when I did the 5 stars, I didn't think of the ethical things. Yeah, which is bad, I know.
But that's fine. Music.
5.
I've given it a 5 too. That theme is perfect.
Took that little ball that you gave me and told me, put a little number on it, and I smashed it out of the park with a 5 because that music, the whole time throughout the movie, not just the Batman's theme music, but the music they used for each scene was done well. Prince did such a good job on the songs he put into it. It's a hard thing. I can't even begin to imagine what it would be like.
Yeah, there's something about it's the iconic theme as well. I'll give it a 5 as well for that reason, because anything with that music and say even the Prince stuff that blended well with the scenes, it's definitely a 5. Visuals, how good does it look?
4. I gave it 4 because it didn't really show much of Gotham. I know that the movie's not called Gotham, it's called Batman, but I really felt like it was from scene to scene, it was just kind of cut and put together. So that's why I went with that 4.
Awesome. So you've given it a grand total of 22.5 stars. I've given it a grand total of 22 stars because I give it 5 for visuals, 5 for music, 4 for how well it holds up, 4 for acting, and 4 for story. You've gone 4 for visuals, 5 for music, 5 for how well it holds up, 4.5 for acting, and 4 for stories. So a combined total of 44.5 out of 50. So it's 44.5 stars out of 50, which is pretty damn good for a movie.
Yeah, and for our first review,
it means that we hard top.
We had to go strong. If you're listening in, we had to go strong for the first one. We couldn't just pick any old movie. It had to be one that we really enjoyed together so that you guys out there would get an idea of just what this is going to be like for the rest of them.
And just how much fun we want to have doing it. Because I like to have more positive reviews. Yeah, we talked a bit of trash during the movie about little things, but all in all, I love this film.
Yep. I think that, in all honesty, if you can go through a review and find absolutely nothing wrong, you're not doing your job right.
Yeah, you got to find some things.
And that's not saying, oh, we're nitpicking at pieces. We're sitting down, we're watching these movies, as you guys will be as well, and we're looking for things that are good, and sometimes we spot things that aren't.
And you'll notice when I do this, where I'm picking films that I like. Worst of the Worst is a different show, and there's maybe ones that I might not like as much. But on Movie Review Universe, at the start at least, I'm picking all the movies that we do. And you are yourself, and I've got Phantom coming up in a few weeks that you like as well. But so we got some movies that we like, and I do this because I like to be positive, not negative. I like to talk about how much fun movies are and enjoy them rather than listen to why something's bad, because people out there will like certain movies that you don't like, and if you just trash them, people are going to be like, well, why am I watching this film? I feel bad for liking this. You should never feel bad about liking any film.
That's the thing, and that's what's going to make this movie universe great, is that we're not out to trash your favourite films. We're just saying, hey, this is what we think.
Yeah, either poking fun or just looking at it from a 2021 kind of view rather than a 1980s kind of view.
Yeah.
Well, if you enjoyed that movie review and have some thoughts of your own, let us know via the Nobody Does It Bennett Facebook page or on Twitter at NobodyDIBennett, or through our email at nobodydoesitbennett@outlook.com. That's NobodyDoesitBennett@outlook.com. That's with 2 N's and 2 T's in Bennett.
And you can also check out the NDIB extras on Facebook and on YouTube.
Thank you, Jeff, for joining me on this very first episode of Nobody Does It Bennett, Movie Review Universe. It has been a lot of fun running through this movie with you.
It really has. I didn't think it would be as fun as it turned out to be. So, yep, thank you very much. And let's see where we go from here.
Thank you very much for listening. We'll catch you next time. And remember, some others may do it better, but nobody does it Bennett. All right, thank you. Take care.
It's the end of the show, and now it's time to go. Don't be sad, just be glad that nobody does it Bennett.